Hello and welcome to the channel. We are the Hologrumps. I am Colin.
And I'm Liam.
And we're back once again to talk about WandaVision, episode 4. We interrupt this program, directed by Matt Shackman, my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode opened with the anti-blip, the anti-clip, the anti-snap. Yes, the anti-snap. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for future content. So, Colin, what did you think of this opening scene?
I loved it. Loved it all. Loved seeing these people come back and getting full agency of their body while they were coming back. It really answered a lot of questions. So, did these people just reappear or did they reform? Because if you remember Endgame, they just kind of arrived. Surprised Doctor Strange didn't come and pick her up and say, "We need you for something." At that exact moment, they were fighting Thanos. Think about that.
Yeah, no, they seem to just instantly pick up. I suppose. Yeah, actually, no. Okay. They all just reappeared, and then they were instantly in the right place. And it was kind of a Lando Calrissian moment where he rallied all of the troops in the galaxy together, and they were all able to show up at the same time.
Oh yeah.
The thing that got me in this when I saw people re-emerging, and it was actually bothering me at that time, was like, what would have happened if Monica Rambeau, when she re-emerged, there was somebody sitting in that chair?
Who knows?
What would have happened if you were in an airplane?
You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's too much of a plot hole. I assume that the power of the Infinity Stones isn't just there to make people appear exactly where they were.
Yeah, that's
Peter Parker didn't appear on, what was it, Titan? No, the planet he was on. Didn't appear on that planet.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
So
yeah,
don't think about it, Lee. Don't forget about it.
I just assume that when he uses the glove that he has in his head to safely return everybody. No, it wasn't something that bothered me. It was just something funny that I thought about when this episode was opening.
Yeah, you could end up awkwardly sitting on someone's lap.
Your one, Monica Rambeau, the Teyona Paris, when we got to see her actually playing her character. What do you think of her?
I don't know. You're not really getting much time with these characters. What was most interesting about it as a kind of a lead up to it was, how irrelevant it was to the plot of WandaVision, insofar as it was just justifying why Monica was there. It wasn't really saying any relevance to WandaVision itself. And they're kind of sidelining her, or they thought they were sidelining her, until they realized what was going on in Westview, I believe it was called.
Yeah, that was a good opening. The way it kind of nicely played into why she was there, and it was a good way to get her character into the series. What's it? I didn't actually notice until we got to episode 3 or whatever that this was Monica Rambeau, the daughter of your one in Captain Marvel. What's her mother's name?
Rambeau.
Maria.
Maria.
Maria Rambeau, yeah.
Or Maria.
Maria Rambeau. Maria, yeah. So I had no idea. So when she was talking about the fact that your mother's dead, I was like, ah, yes, of course, this is all going to have repercussions later on because we know this character. And then, of course, she gets back to Sword, to which we find out that Maria Rambeau was the one that set up Sword to begin with. She was the visionaire?
Director.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense, given that when we look at the Captain Marvel film, it is set in the 90s. 90s, yeah. So that would have been the first time they would have come across extraterrestrial life. Because Captain America... That we know of, yeah. They might do something to retcon that, but Captain America didn't take place. Wasn't a kind of an extraterrestrial life film, so didn't matter. So all you haters out there that say that it makes no sense that she set up S.H.I.E.L.D., well, it does make sense.
No, I'm gonna cut that.
Yeah,
don't give it out about your damn no.
Yeah, do you want to take it in there with something?
All right, so the episode actually had a load of recurring characters as well from the MCU, and it was great to see characters like Jimmy Choo. It was great to see characters like Jimmy Woo come back, played by Randall Park, or what's her name? Kat Dennings playing Darcy as well. It was just really nice to see these people from old movies coming back and still being in their character actually being relevant to the story as well. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. So I had to look up who Darcy was because I had no memory of her. The one thing that bothered me about her more than anything was the way that she talked. She really grated on me. Could somebody get me a coffee, please?
That's
It
her
was
whole
like
character.
it was piercing my head every time she started
That
talking.
is what they get Kat Dennings to do. Like that is she's had her own sitcom. She's had everything. Like so like that is genuinely the character she is expected to play. And it's also the character she played in Thor.
See, like I said, I can't remember. I saw Thor about 8 years ago, I'd say.
And Thor 2.
And Thor 2. I've never seen Thor 2. That's something I'm going to have to look at.
Oh,
See,
you can miss it.
Oh, is that not meant to be a great film?
It's not. What I liked the most was how they got everything into Westview. The helicopter going in becomes a toy helicopter with color. When they try communicator, it was just great that they were showing all these ways that they had been influencing Wanda in previous episodes. Like you had the radio coming on, and obviously we get a cut in the scene or the episode of WandaVision, so to speak. You get the beekeeper, who's actually a guy in a hazmat suit, and all his stuff just transforms into bee stuff, and it's completely useless to him. He gets blipped out of it. It's really quite interesting.
I think it's cool the way the things have to adapt to the environment so they make sense to the context. It's like kind of a supernatural force imposing itself on the world that we can't make sense of it in any way other than what we perceive our world to be.
What I found kind of interesting is the way it overwrites people's memories. So I don't think Monica was pretending to be part of the village. I think she genuinely was part of the village, but her facade was drawing on the knowledge of her actual person, of actual Monica, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they showed her sitting in the background and she was sitting there as part of the scene. And as well as that, I'd say it was the scene where where Wanda has the twins. That's when it comes back to Monica that there's something outside of this world that doesn't quite exist. Either that, or she's a phenomenal
I just think
actress.
it's actually drawing on information that her brain knew, and it doesn't really think about it because she said it so casually in the actual episode.
Yeah, but then she does try to cover it up, and she's like, "Oh, what? Oh, I said nothing." But a lot of the characters in the show seem to be doing these weird things. Like if we look at episode 3, and we had Herb or whatever his name was trying to saw through the wall. It's like it's a cry for help from him, and he doesn't quite understand why he's doing it. So they seem to be in some way self-aware of. Yeah. So do you think that's kind of a similar thing going on where Wanda has told everybody there that they can't let on what's going on to Vision? Like they seem to know, but they're too afraid to say it to him.
No, because I feel like because people have these interactions with her when Vision isn't around, and they at no point make they don't at no point do they seem to be out of character when they're dealing with Wanda, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just stronger when Wanda's around.
That's possible as well, because when Vision brings the Doctor home, he's self-aware that he can't leave the town. Like
so there's a radius of it.
Yeah, they seem to they know that they can't leave these places.
But they don't really know.
Yeah, I suppose that's what we're going to find out. That's the great adventure of the show. I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
I liked
me too.
I think it was a really good payoff for the first 3 episodes where we were in the television world. And that's the thing, I think a lot of people don't give shows a chance anymore because they want to go straight in with the explosions and all of that. So then when we did get an episode, it was the same in The Mandalorian, we had a couple of slow episodes, but then that makes the big ones pay off all the more.
It's called pacing.
Pacing.
It's good. It's good that we have a week to think about it as well, because I don't think the show would do very well if people could just watch every episode in 4 hours. You know.
No, everything gets then you forget about it.
Yeah.
Like it's like any of the Netflix shows that drop straight away, like the Umbrella Academy or anything, and you talk about them for maybe a week, maybe less, maybe even a day, depends how quickly you streamed it, and then you just forget about it, and then it drops again in a year, and people will be like, oh, this show's out again.
I better watch the recap.
Yeah, exactly. You forget them. You forget the individual moments, and also you don't have us talking heads going on about the episode each week.
The episode itself was just a really nice change of pace for me. I wasn't crazy about the previous episodes. I liked them, but wasn't really crazy about them. I just I felt really disconnected watching them, because I didn't understand what was going on. I felt like I had to remember everything I saw so that I could call back to it later on in future episodes. And I feel that this episode was the payoff for that. I feel like this episode was the payoff for watching out for all the little small details, like the sword, on the medallion, the adverts. I don't know about those actually, so I don't know what's going to happen with those. I reckon that just has to do with the fact that Wanda was raised by Hydra. But anyway, yeah, I really liked it.
I don't know, as well as that, yeah, Hydra, that's something that keeps lingering there. So I'm not sure just how much Wanda is fully responsible for this, because I think they've given the game away too quickly now. As in, people had just started figuring it out in episode 3 that maybe Wanda's behind everything, and then straight away in episode 4 they confirm it. But is that kind of a red herring?
A red skull.
A red skull, yeah. Maybe there's somebody else behind all of this, so I wouldn't rule that out just yet. So I think that about wraps up this episode. So we both enjoyed it, we both loved it. If you like what you see here, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, because we are happy enough to keep reviewing this show until something else comes along. I don't know what though. But anyway, for the Hologrumps, I've been Liam.
And I've been Colum.
And remember, as the old saying goes, existence is futile.